Hello to YouTube. I'm back once again, and as promised, I will be showing you guys the wooden box mod that I started a few days ago and completed. Well, not 100% completed. Basically all I have left is to apply some polyurethane on the finish, but I have to wait 24 hours to do that. So, but it's dry. The stain is dry, dry to the touch, but still need to fully cure. So it's been raining here all week, so I'm kind of in a disadvantage to do some painting or staining because of the humidity. It definitely takes a lot longer for things to dry, but it's good now. Basically, this is 2 coats of red mahogany, and then again I'll be applying some wipe on poly tomorrow. I'll probably do a couple coats of that, but let's go back to the mod here. So this is my 3rd wooden box mod that I built. I'll let you guys look at the front here. Let me move this camera a little bit. So this is what it looks like. This is the door right here. So basically, dimension wise, this is slightly smaller than my 2nd box mod. Let me move this back. If you can see here, let me move this sticks a little bit. So there it is, side by side. So my 2nd one measures at 4 1/4. This is not including the 510. So this one is exactly at 4 inches. So and then the width, it is slightly wider than my 2nd one, but that's due to the design. This is about 2 inches. This one is about 2 1/8. So this is a 1/8 inch wider. But this is the big difference right here, is the, I guess, depth. Oh, can't see that? You may see right there. Well, let me put the door on so you can see the full thing. Damn it. What's up with these bugs? Jesus. So here it is right here. This one, my 2nd one, is about, let's see here, 1 1/4 inches. This one is, what is that? 15/16. So it's a 16th less than 1 inch. And I'll explain why I was able to accomplish that. I'm gonna move this out of the way. Basically, when I built this, when I kind of going through my head as far as the design that I was gonna do, I thought of clamping together 2 3/4 inch thick wood, but that came out to, if you clamp that together, glue it together, that's about 1.5 inches. So that's a little too thick. So I think I used, what the hell did I use? Hold on, let me go grab that piece of wood real quick. So this is the 1/2 inch. Actually less than 1/2 inch. So let me move this out of the way first. Basically what I did was I put 2 of these together side by side. I didn't glue it, and then to hollow it out for the batteries, because this is hollowed out. I don't know if you can see that. It's hollowed out. I used once it was, it's clamped together side by side, and then I used my drill press with a 3/4 inch Forstner bit, because I think that's about the right size for the 18650 batteries. I hollowed it out from the top, 2 holes. There's a little bit of gap in between, and I drilled down to about the height of the batteries, and then I separated it, and 1/2 is the part of the actual mod, and then the other 1/2 is the battery or the cover. So this right here, you see it's hollowed out. So yeah, so that's kind of how I imagine it, and that's how I did it. I didn't want to just do a regular wooden box, just with 4 sides. I mean, this has 4 sides too, but just a typical 1/4 inch piece of wood, glued together. I wanted to do something different, and this is what I came up with. So basically the hollowed out part is from this all the way down. Well, not all the way down. Maybe you can see it from here to here. And this is just a piece of a 1/4 inch poplar. And this top portion, and there's also another 1/4 inch piece right here. You can't really tell, but there's another 1/4 inch piece right here, and then the top part of the mod, which is same thing, 2 pieces of glued 1/2 inch wood that I hollowed out so I can fit the 510 and the switch plus the wiring. So as far as the parts, pretty much the same parts I used from my last couple of box mods, same copper springs. Actually, this is my last one. When I try to look it up on eBay, the dude that was selling it, or the seller, was gone, no longer exists. So I'm kind of out of luck. I should have bought more. I only bought 4 of these copper springs. I messed one up, so I have 3 mods with these 3 copper springs. I just have to figure out a way how to make the springs. So same deal. I soldered a 18 gauge solid copper wire right there at the middle. Before my second one, I ran it on the side, but this time around I ran it through the middle. And remember when I hollowed out the spaces for the batteries, I left a little bit of gap in between, and that's what I used. I pretty much hollowed that out too, so I can fit the wire in there. And then once I did that, I cut a piece of wood to cover it up. This is basically epoxied in there. Kind of cover it up as much as I can, And I kind of leave that a little bit open down there, but this right here, kind of left it a little open, but that's fine. It looks good. And then positive contact, same thing I used on my last box mod. It's this copper sleeve that I bought from Lowe's. Basically use this to crimp together wires. It's a sleeve, and it's perfect for positive contacts because this is 100% copper. Unfortunately, I can't show you the inside of this because the way I designed this, I was just kind of I didn't really plan this out very well. The only thing I thought that was in my head was how to this portion right here, that I'll be hollowing out. But as far as the rest, I didn't really have any idea as far as what I was gonna do. So like I said, I won't be able to show you the inside of this because this is permanently glued to the base here. So if you happen to put the batteries in the wrong order, it's definitely gonna ruin your wiring because it's pretty much gonna melt it. You're pretty much gonna chuck this away. So please make sure positive up, negative down on both batteries. Switch this time around, I didn't use the flush switch. I used a raised top. So just got something different, but 510 is still the same. It's Fat Daddy Vapes, and again polished to match the switch. It didn't come polished. I polished it myself using high grit sandpaper. That's about it. Well, you know, if you notice the darker spots right here, basically, you know, depending on how the grain of the wood is positioned, this portion right here, obviously the grain goes vertical on the top part. Since I glued it together, I didn't want to use the same grain pattern on the top because basically I'm gonna be, if it's this way stacked together, I'm gonna be drilling the holes on top here, which is the end grain, and this is weak. You know, if you drill a hole there and you put something through there, that's just gonna disintegrate. So that's why I decided to make the top portion with the grain going horizontal for more strength. So that's why this darker here is the end grain. You know, it always does that because whenever you stain, unless you really seal the wood, which I did a little bit, I sealed it a little bit, but I guess I didn't put enough wood sealant in there. It'll absorb more stain. So, but it looks cool. It gives it character. You know, same thing at the bottom. Pretty much the same grain pattern. It goes this direction. So, just kind of gives it a little bit of character. And I decided to put the switch on top too because, again, I was trying to make this as small as possible. And with this size switch, I think this is a 16mm switch. With the biggest portion, part of it is, I think, 18mm. This from this to there, right there. That's 18mm. But the threads are 16mm. Again, the switch, I couldn't really use the nut because, again, you know, I try to make it as small as possible. So I JB welded the switch in, and also the 510, I JB welded the nut so it won't loosen. So again, there's no way to fix this. Basically, if you do happen to break it, you just go like this, the trash can. So, and for the door, I put some magnets, one in the middle there on top and the bottom. So one up here and one down at the bottom there. It's a tight fit because I stained it, so that's what it looks like. And as you can see, it's not really square. Basically, in my previous mods, I used a roundover bit to soften the edges. This time around, I used this router bit right here. Oh, damn. It's a big router bit. Basically, this is called a table edge router bit. If you compare it to a regular round over bit. This has this it'll just round off the corner, same angle. But this one, it had on the top, it has a, I guess, shallower angle. So what it'll do is it'll round off the edges here a little bit, but it'll actually take off more material on the top, because this thing extends further. You can see there. Regular round over bit. This is actually a big one. I think there's a 3/4 inch. I don't know what the hell size this is. 1/2 inch round over bit. This one, it gives it a deeper look. You know, it takes off material all the way up here. That's why it looks like that. So by doing that, I was able to make it even smaller and a lot more comfortable to hold. You know, you don't have that wide depth on both sides. So very comfortable. So let's fire this baby up. Actually, before I get started, and also one last thing on the door, since I did that table edge on the sides, if you leave the door as is without putting this notch in, you won't be able to take out the door. That was a last minute change that I had to do, so I had to put a little bit of notch here so you can actually grab it and pull it out. Bam. So there's a notch right there. So let's throw some batteries in here. These are fresh batteries, I think. So make sure positive up so we don't fucking ruin this thing. So there it is right there. Like I said, there's a little bit of gap there, basically for the wire. Look at that thing. It's pretty thin, but pretty sturdy. Booyah. Look at that. Tight. Let's do a quick voltage drop test on this. I'll use an RDA which is built around 0.27 and my K-Fun which is built at 0.5. Because basically you'll have more voltage drop for if you use a lower resistance build, which I'll show you. So I'll use my K-Fun here. And this is built at 0.57. And the voltage on the batteries, again, this is not the most accurate way of doing a voltage drop test, but this is what everybody else does. So 4.11. So again, 0.57. We started at 4.11. Let's see where it's at. 3.88. 3.87. Let's go with 3.87. So that is 0.24 voltage drop on a 0.57 build. Alright, I'm going to use my Patriot, which is, I think it's 0.27, 0.29, 0.28. Damn, missed it by one. So, like I said, you're gonna have more voltage drop the lower you go. So let's see what the voltage drop is with this Addy. What the hell? It's upside down. 3.42, 3.43, 3.42, 3.41, 3.40. Let's just use 3.40. What the hell? You guys seen it where it started? God damn it, I didn't check out the battery. Let's see where the battery's at. Damn. 4.06. So that's a start. Put some juice on here, man. I don't want this thing to burn. And there's a lot of juice in there. So 4.06. 3.45. 3.40. 3.42. Let's use 3.42. What the hell? 4.64 voltage drop on a 0.28 build. I guess not too shabby. I don't know. Alright, now for the actual test. Let's see how she vapes. Use my K-Fun first. See how it does with the tank. Looks pretty badass. Right there. Back up here a little bit. So you can see, just like my other mods, or just like any other, well, I wouldn't say just like any other box mods out there, but sure this can chuck a vapor, and that's with a K-Fun 0.56 ohm build. Now with my Patriot 0.28, get some juice. I'm not gonna test fire it up because I might put some juice. Well, fuck it. So here it is. Whoa, bad fucking ass. Put this top cap back on here. Wipe this down so when I put the polyurethane tomorrow, it's gonna stick. Not gonna have any freaking juice on it. It'll be alright. Cool. Yeah. So 0.28. This thing over here. 0.28. So that's what it looks like. Looks badass with a copper drip tip on there, huh? That's why I chose the red mahogany, because I like copper. So if you have a copper RDA, look badass. Back. Let's do, this video is running long, but who cares? She jocks, baby. So again, fellas, here it is, my custom-made wooden box mod version 3. And actually, I'm not keeping this one because I'm trying to set up a trade with someone. Basically, I'm gonna let him know. I'll send him the link to this video, and if he likes it, we'll negotiate a trade. And I will announce that whenever we're done with the negotiation. I will announce who that person is. I will do another video before I mail it out. And actually, I already have a design in my head as far as what I'm gonna laser etch on the cover and on the back for that particular person. So, and hopefully I can get that done, you know, once we kind of set up a deal and it's good to go. I will get it etched, and then when I announce who that person is, it'll already have the etching on there, and it'll look pretty badass. So here you go, guys. From the side, I guess the front, back, bottom, the top. So I know it's kind of a long video, but I appreciate you guys watching it. If you guys have any questions, just let me know, and hopefully I can answer it for you guys and gals. Again, thank you for watching.